Travis here with Chaparral Motorsports, and today we're going to break down and give you all the details of the Fox racewear line so you can find out what Fox gear combo is best for you. The connection between the gear and the rider has never been more important, and Fox Racing is focused on creating functional riding equipment with a goal of maximizing athletic performance. And they did just that with their premium racewear called the FlexAir Gear. Now, when 6D first released their ATR1 helmet, I think it sent a lot of other helmet manufacturers back to the drawing board. I think Fox did the same thing, but with motocross gear, giving their Fox FlexAir Gear the top spot when it comes to technical racewear. The FlexAir jersey uses a true dry main body fabric for a really soft feel. It's supposed to be extremely lightweight and comfortable as well. As far as the pants go, the main body is cut from a durable, true motion 4-way stretch fabric, which we'll get into when we get to the track. The updated waistband has a more secure fit for a distraction-free riding experience. When you ride with FlexAir, you're getting the purest, distraction-free riding experience available. This is supposed to be the pinnacle of motocross gear, so I can't wait to get to the track to try this stuff on. And after I try this stuff on, I'm gonna try the 360 gear on as well as the 180. So getting into the details as far as the 360 gear goes. The Fox 360 gear offers remarkable durability and comfort, and that's been proven by having the best premier racers wear this stuff through the most demanding motocross tracks around the world. The main differences between the 360 jersey and the FlexAir jersey, well, the 360 jersey weighs a little bit more, and it doesn't have those fancy laser perforated holes. You'll also notice the FlexAir jersey has a taped collar and taped cuffs versus the 360 jersey, which is sewn. The 360 pant is still gonna use that same true motion fabric that the FlexAir pant offers, and yeah, you're gonna get your fancy laser perforated holes. Except the difference is the 360 pant has a lot more durability because it's using a 600 denier in the high abrasion areas, like your thighs and your butt area that gets worn up against the motorcycle seat. I think this is the gear for me because it's amazing gear for the price and it uses a lot of features from the FlexAir gear. Let's move on to the 180. The 180 gear is our favorite gear because it's extremely lightweight, quote unquote, the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Now, I can't wait to get out to the track to see if I can agree with them. You do see this gear basically everywhere, no matter what track you go to, no matter what trail you go to, or if you head to the desert, or just, hey, if you go to the supermarket, you might randomly see a guy wearing it with his jeans. The 180 jersey uses moisture wicking fabrics, which should keep you dry and essentially be very comfortable. Now, this is your recreational jersey, so you'll notice it doesn't have any ventilation panels like the 360 has in the back. There's no fancy laser perforated holes. You'll notice there's sewn seams for the cuffs, for the shoulders, and up and down the ribs. So this is your traditional motocross jersey. As far as the 180 pant goes, there's no waistband like the FlexAir Gear has to offer, as well as the 360. All it has is a ratchet system in the front, but you'll notice it has that wrap position, which wrap stands for rider attack position, and that's what Fox calls it because what they do is they articulate their pants for the rider as far as when they're in the riding position, it's not gonna bind up in any areas. The back's a little higher, the knees are bent, that's what they're talking about when it comes to the wrap position, and that's offered in every Fox pant across the line. There are laser perforated holes in the 180 pant. There's minimal TPR, which makes it lightweight, and there's only one layer of leather on the inside of the knees. Those are some quick features on the Fox Racing line, the FlexAir, the 360, the 180. Now let's get to the track and meet with Mark Finley and the Fox crew so they can really give us the nitty-gritty and tell us the differences as far as what this gear is all about. All right, so now that we've made it to Milestone MX here in Riverside, California, I'm so glad that Mark Finley from Fox Racing got to meet us out here. You guys, I just gave you the details and the features of the FlexAir, the 360 and the 180, but ultimately I wanted Mark's been with Fox for 20 years, and I wanted him to really tell you guys the big differences between each one of those lines. Mark, thanks for being here.
Yeah, great to be out at the track, and you know, this is the proving ground, right?
Exactly.
Having you guys ride in the product. Obviously you rode in the 180 boots today, and it's great to get your initial impression on the product. So yeah, absolutely, great to be here.
As you guys can see, I'm wearing the Fox FlexAir Gear.
Yep.
Now the FlexAir Gear is their flagship model when it comes to the racewear. What is the biggest difference between, I mean, this is the Ferrari of gear here. So what's the difference from the 360?
Yeah, great point. FlexAir really is our pinnacle product in our range. A few years ago, back in 2015 is when we launched the original FlexAir, and the idea was, you know, what are the limits and what do the top level riders need? When we were starting to work on FlexAir, it was all about rider performance and our pro level riders in particular. So for us, the biggest difference between FlexAir and 360, FlexAir is all about mobility and movement on the motorcycle. So diving into new materials, four-way stretch materials, getting the pant to be more of what we call a race fit, more of an athletic, fitted look on the rider. We can do that because we're using four-way stretch materials.
Which, speaking of the pant, it has changed since the first generation of FlexAir.
Absolutely.
I have the original pair of FlexAir Gear. It was red and blue. Yeah. I remember they debuted it at Glen Helen. There used to be accordion stretch panels in the FlexAir Gear. There's no more of that.
There's no more need to use an accordion stretch panel here. That made this very large on the original FlexAir pant. The other thing, maybe I can have you undo this buckle here real quick. Yeah. So as I mentioned too, we talked about that waistband system here. You can see this waistband really coming from almost from the back of the pant. The idea there is to get a nice even pull from the back of the pant all the way around to the front of the pant. As I mentioned, to hold this pant in place on a 450 is really important for us. So the waistband update was a nice feature. It came directly from our top level riders asking for that update.
It gives a ton of security.
You can feel it on the track,
You
Travis.
feel really secure.
Awesome.
And I'll turn around.
Yeah. So as Travis turns around here, you can really see this waistband system is coming all the way from the back of this pant, from the rear yoke area, pulling all the way to the front. And again, trying to get a nice even pull to keep this pant in place, up high on the lower portion of his back. So again, creating that articulation, so when he's on the motorcycle, the pant's not coming down. So that was a nice update from our original FlexAir pant, that waistband system. And then we've gone to a rigid 900 denier polyester material in the saddle area to give this pant a little more rigidity in the saddle itself and a little more durability as well.
It's four-way stretch all the way around.
All the way around to that rigid saddle panel. So you're getting stretch not only from the inseam all the way to the back, but also up and down as well. The other thing that we do with FlexAir to keep it nice and cool is we have laser perforation on the main panel of the front of the pant to get some airflow into the pant. Now internally on a FlexAir, there's no internal liner on this pant. We've removed the internal liner in the front of the pant to keep it lighter, but also much cooler for the rider.
And getting into the pants, having my knee braces on, made it much more simple without the lining as well.
Yeah, we realized that was kind of a byproduct as well. Yeah. Trying to make the pant lighter and cooler, we also got a much simpler way to get in and out of the pant, not having your liner get caught on the brace.
I really like that.
Yeah. So on a FlexAir and a 360 pant, you're gonna find this leather is seamed. The idea there is we were able to articulate this leather. When we left it just as a large flat piece, when the rider was in the rider attack position, we were getting a lot of rolls in the leather against the side of the motorcycle. We were able to cut this, articulate this panel, and reduce the amount of leather that's rolling up against the side of the motorcycle on the shrouds and the frame. So that's the idea, and that's the reason for that two-piece knee system. It's all about less material, simplistic design ideas here with that leather. The fact that we're using four-way stretch material, it's really allowed us to simplify the build of the pant. So this entire panel here on the front of the pant, woven four-way stretch material. And the big thing for us was finding a durable woven four-way stretch. So we went to the factories and we developed our own fabric. We call it True Motion fabric, and it's a durable four-way stretch fabric. It allows us to get rid of additional paneling where you would typically be paneling in stretch materials. Well, now the entire pant is stretched.
Let me tell you, you can truly feel the pants flex and stretch around your thighs and around your waist when you're getting on the bike and stepping up and down. I love that because there are other pants that when you squat on the motorcycle, they'll tend to fall down or your shirt will come untucked. This just stretches everywhere, every which way you move.
Yeah, and that was the intention for sure, was again, complete mobility. The updates from that old, the original FlexAir pant, we added more of a rigid waistband to this second generation,
Which I love.
like to call it. Yeah, and it's just to give the pant a little more stability around the waist area. There's always things we can learn. The original FlexAir, on starts, sometimes we'd have guys like Dungy telling us the pant would tend to pull down a little bit on the start. So we wanted a more secure waistband, and that's really what the second generation chassis offers.
So the waistband's keeping it up around the waist, allowing the butt area kind of to still flex.
The saddle area can flex independently from the waistband itself, exactly.
So moving on to the 360 gear, I mean, let's just go over the FlexAir one more time. It's all motion, it's true motion technology. Any which way I move, it's durable now, so, and it's fitted, it's very fitted compared to the 360. And when Mark was telling me about the 180, 360, and the FlexAir, you kind of got to look at it like jeans, right? If you're looking for some skinny fitted jeans, some high performance, FlexAir. And then a little bit more loose fitting goes into the 360.
A little more of a generous fit when you move to 360. And what I like to think about with 360 is really more of a hybrid pant here. And we wanted to take a lot of the things that we learned with FlexAir as far as mobility and bring it into a 360. So what we did 2 years ago with this updated 360 chassis is we brought in some of that woven four-way stretch material in the knee area, brought in the four-way stretch from above the knee. It actually comes all the way up in the inseam area of the pant. And this really gives the rider freedom of movement as they're getting their leg up by the shroud. You know how it is, you're laying into a rut, you really want to get your leg up high, your boot up high. This is really unrestricted and giving this rider all the mobility they need. It also comes into the front of the pant as well. So even in the front crotch area here of the pant, we're getting four-way stretch, again, to eliminate any binding as the rider needs to move on the motorcycle.
This front flap is kind of like the FlexAir as well, like almost like a waistband style.
Yeah, we're trying to pull from as far across the front of the waist as possible to have a nice even pull on the front of the pant with this fly cam and waist closure system. But even as you come to the back, Travis talked about it earlier, we use what we call a floating rear yoke on this pant, and the idea is the waistband is allowed to act separately from the stretch panel in the back of the pant. So the waist is held in place by the waistband, and then this rear saddle area is allowed to move independently of the waistband.
Cool.
And that, again, we want to keep this pant in place so the guy's not going over jump and trying to pull up his pants. Obviously on 450s, you're sitting down off the face, your seat bouncing. We want this thing to stay in place. So again, this floating rear yoke system on a 360 really, and it's also on a FlexAir, really helps hold this pant in place while you're on the track. The second thing, and like I said, like a hybrid, we wanted to keep the high abrasion 600 denier polyester.
The durability.
The durability, the non-stretch woven material in the high wear areas. So the thigh area of this pant, the saddle area, the knee area is using a non-stretch, very durable 600 denier polyester. So it's a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Cool.
Stretch and mobility and durability. That's really what we built into a 360.
Now, 360 is probably one of the most vented between the line. I know the FlexAir has tons of ventilation, but the 360 has an entire back panel on the jersey, which is full ventilation, and it helps really exhaust that heat off of your body.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Travis. As you look at a 360 jersey, obviously we're solid moisture wicking polyester on the main panel of the front of the jersey, but as you move around to the back of the jersey, exactly like you explained, we want to keep the rider cool. The idea here is full airflow on the back of the jersey. We want to exhaust as much of that hot air off the rider's body through the back of the jersey itself. So nice mesh panels, a nice tailored fit with the 360 is going to keep a rider cool on the motorcycle as well.
I mean, this has good flexibility too.
Yep.
I mean, quality gear. Now 360 is kind of that mid-level gear between your recreational gear and your racer stuff. So maybe if you go to the racetrack once a week, but you don't have that money because tires and oil is expensive, 360 gear is probably right up your alley because it's going to be gear you can wear all year long. It vents, it's durable, and then when the new colors come out next year, you can pick yourself up another set.
Exactly.
Moving into the 180 gear.
Yeah, so as we look at 180, I love the way you're talking about fits. As we look at our Pinnacle FlexAir, way more fitted, pro level type of rider. Most of the time this guy's going to be in shape. You move into that 360, again, more of a hybrid, or a blend of flexibility and durability, a little more of a relaxed fit, but still.
I'm probably going to be moving into this sooner now that I'm a father.
Exactly, the dad bod.
I'm going to get that dad bod, so this 360 stuff might be more along my lines.
The other thing to think about before we move into 180, we think about this consumer, this high end and this core racer with 360, we assume this guy most of the time is going to be wearing a knee brace. Your FlexAir and your 360 pant, there's actually a double layer system here on the knee area. The 360 and the FlexAir use leather on the knee. There's a second layer of high abrasion material behind that leather. Well, we realized knee braces are very hard on pants. And if you're spending a lot of money on a premium race pant, we want this to last for you. So 360 and FlexAir have that second layer of material to protect the leather from knee braces.
That's important because the pants are going to last that much longer.
We're literally double the life out of a 360 pant. Same knee braces on the same rider. We were getting double the life out of the pant when we added that second layer of material. The knee brace gets really sharp. They're expensive. The hinges get sharp. Guys don't replace them a lot because they're so expensive. Well, that we realized was grabbing the backside of the leather in one little spot and starting to wear a hole in the leather from the inside out. So
you guys are saving graphics as well.
Exactly. So yeah, great point. 2 layers of material there, giving you a little better feel for the bike as well.
Yeah, don't have to buy graphics as much. You hear that? Go buy some Fox pants.
Exactly. So as we go into 180, this really is our recreational set of racewear. And as you said, riding motorcycles, obviously very expensive, keeping the bikes up, the accessories. We want to make sure we build the best product possible at this great price point. So with 180, the paneling, everything we do here is definitely thought out for this recreational rider. But a few things that you don't see that you get in a 360 or a FlexAir, you do get the leather panel on the knee, but this is a single layer
Not
panel.
a double layer.
Yeah, and this consumer is probably wearing a knee guard instead of a knee brace. So this is plenty enough coverage and durability for this rider. So that's the first big difference. Also, the fit of the 180 is going to be a little more generous. So a little more for that recreational rider out there that's not riding quite as much and quite as hard as a track guy.
Maybe they don't like the tight feel of the pants. They want a looser fit, like your jeans.
Yeah, great point, exactly. And then as we move into the pant itself, we have taken some of the features from a 360 into a 180 pant, giving this guy some stretch in the knee area. It's a woven 4-way stretch material. The rear yoke of the pant is also a woven 4-way stretch. And then another thing that we always like to think about is how is a rider actually sitting on the motorcycle? So we've built in some nice articulation, even into this recreational pant, to keep the pant in place on the rider while he's on the motorcycle.
Which I did go over that in the studio.
Oh, great. Okay,
your guys' it's called wrap, which is your rider attack position, right?
Exactly.
And all your pants have that wrap technology because, I mean, when we're on our motorcycle, we're not standing straight up or sitting down on the couch. We have a specific position, and that's important because when you get in that position, you don't want the pants to move in a different way.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. The other thing that we think about is the material kind of folding up on itself. We want to eliminate as much material as we can in those areas where you're flexing anyways.
So like
behind the knee. Exactly. Even the front waist area on the pant.
Yeah.
Making it, giving enough room for the rider, but also making sure we don't have a lot of material rolling up on itself.
Minimalistic.
Yeah, minimalistic, exactly.
That's cool. Right on, guys. So I have the FlexAir Gear on now, as you can see. I went and did a few motos, but I'm really curious to get the 360 and the 180 gear on. I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Mark, thanks again for coming.
Awesome, great to meet up with you, Travis.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Travis with Chaparral Motorsports. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with videos like this. And also head to chatmoto.com. Check out all the colorways of the FlexAir, the 360, and the 180. We have it in stock, available to ship to your house.